And then this thing happened in '08. I don't know if you recall.
I recall.
I think I blacked out for like 7
I
years.
still got scars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
I remember exactly where I was when I got the call that the secondary market had closed, and that happened.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn how to.
So where were you?
I was leaving the parking lot at our real estate office, and my title officer called to let me know that none of our closings were going to happen.
Yeah. You were with KW?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
At that time, I was with KW.
Yeah. Because I mean, there was, I want to say it was Remax 2000 here, and they had like 6 locations, you know. And there was just one day, all the doors were chained shut. Right? Not like,
wow.
Not
literally
locked,
chained
shut, not locked doors, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it impacted a lot of people. So you had closings that you were anticipating that day.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
Yeah. So this was a season where I feel like I had a license to print money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, that we'd sell the homes before the foundation was finished digging. Mm-hmm. And I got paid when we bought the land, and I would double side both houses. I'd get a real estate commission plus my ownership distribution. I mean, it was great times. And we were putting a lot of money back into our company. I did make 2 idiot purchases. I bought 2 vehicles, and shamefully had to unwind that later. But
were they Hummers?
No, they weren't Hummers. I mean,
I'm asking because I remember in Scottsdale, right here locally, I mean, there were so many freaking Hummers at that time.
I didn't buy a Hummer, but only for this reason. I have too much self-respect. But sorry to the Hummer owners. No, we bought, now this will not sound very sexy, bought a minivan, but it was the Honda Odyssey touring model.
Yeah.
And it had the DVD player, which was big.
The one where the seats folded into the car.
Come on.
Yeah,
that was sexy.
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal. Yeah. And truthfully, at the time that I bought that van, I kind of said, and throw in that Acura TL at the same time. And that was my dumb purchase.
Yeah.
But I was the personal guarantor on these inventory homes. And I hadn't done what so many of my friends had done, which is we're going to make up a name or just have, you know, Uncle Ned sign here. And so when it hit, I was the one that the banks came to talk to.
And this is your construction company?
Yeah.
All right. So you were personally guaranteed on all your construction loans and so on.
That was me.
So that was a pretty sizable number. I imagine you know what that number is.
Yeah. So I had about $3 million in real estate inventory, and that was about 6 homes, but which doesn't sound like much, but don't forget this. Not only had people stopped buying, that the income faucet was off.
Right.
It had turned off.
Yeah. So 3 million on the hook for, and no income.
No income.
To start paying it back.
And, you know, oddly enough, the bankers didn't feel like team players. Like I explained to them, we're in it together, right? We've been in this all the time together. And
you were nice to me.
Yes.
Before.
Yeah. Remember all the lunches?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Yeah.
And so, but it was really a tough season. In fact, can I share a personal story there?
Please.
So my greatest joy in life is my wife. We'll be married 26 years this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we have 4 children. And that is my greatest joy. In fact, I was listening to the episode you did with Jason Lewis. And I heard you say that your family is your priority. You don't want to travel, be away from them.
Absolutely.
I really identified with that. I was listening to that as I was traveling away from my family to Phoenix. And so this season of life, this actually does bridge a gap between what brought me into the coaching world, because suddenly I have to earn a living, and you know, we're not only out of money, we're underwater now.
Yeah.
But I hadn't shared with my wife how bad it actually was. And you said that period was hard on you.
Absolutely.
So mentally, I look back now and I think that's, you know, I was kind of ridiculous the way I was thinking. But when you're in it, you're thinking, I'm uniquely broken. I failed us. You know, so we spend every Christmas up in Sun Valley, Idaho. My wife's a really talented vocalist. And this will be 19 years that we've gone up there, and they hire her to sing at night. And we ski during the day. They give us season passes and meals at the lodges and put us up in the nicest rooms. And she sings for 3 hours every night. It's wonderful. So we're in Sun Valley. We got a babysitter for my wife to go shopping, which is funny because she's not a shopper. But she went to be with her friends. I was going to go skiing with mine. There's a group of us that have done this together. And I didn't go skiing. I went and sat by the fireplace and extended credit lines to make the mortgage payment. So my wife came back early and saw me there. And she's like, aren't you skiing? And that was the moment. Like, I'd been carrying this burden, and I just said, I have to tell you something. Now listen to how this must have sounded if you didn't know, I have to tell you something. We went up to the room, and for the first time I told her we're broke, and it was amazing, Steve, because she just grabbed me and said, why have you gone through this alone? And then later I would learn that she was worried that I was going to tell her I'd cheated or something. Who knew that we were broke was the good news, right, in this moment. But that really caused us to have to reevaluate the way, that I work, and what once felt invulnerable, like impermeable.
Right. You're a Superman. You can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And for a season felt like I couldn't do anything.
Right.
And had to actually develop skills, and hired a coach during that season, to help me through that. It was kind of a tough time, but I do look back at that time and think that was actually when I really started learning.
Yeah.
It was easy before then.